Never underestimate how fast things can change and how fast your life can change and how different things can be, because shit happens. It can either be really good or really bad. So always be grateful for where you're at, no matter how good it is, no matter how shitty the situation is, whatever and wherever you are in your life, always be grateful, because the next day, tomorrow, your life can be completely flipped upside down. You could lose everything. You could lose your house, you could lose your car, you could lose someone you love. So never ever take things for granted in life, and always just live in the moment. And now on the flip side, things can also change very well. Things can be really good, and it can change in a blink of an eye, and you never really know who can change your life, because people are the access to your next venture or your next idea. So with that being said, don't ever limit or disregard the connections that you have and the network that you have, even if it's your neighbor, the old man who walks his dog. Like, you never know, he might be connected to like a billionaire, or he might be connected with someone who knows someone who can benefit from your product or service that you're offering. And so with all this being said, things can change really fast. So never take things for granted. The number one thing that I've learned is to honestly just be very humble at like a baseline. As long as you're at a baseline, everything that happens, no matter when it fluctuates, when people boost your ego, when shit hits the fan, always try to keep yourself at baseline. You're gonna end up gaining this cadence in life, because you're gonna start to really understand that things take time, but at the same time, things can change like that. So an example, a couple months ago, I decided that I'm gonna take my personal brand super serious. I decided, hey, I'm gonna start posting every single day, and I did that every single day. There was days when I would get like no views, I would feel unmotivated. There was days where I just didn't want to post. There was days where I was just feeling like shit. I didn't want to continue doing it, but I still committed to myself that I'm gonna do it. And I said that every single day it's working towards something, and it's always going to be building towards something. And every piece of video and content that I ever made was all catered towards educating people how to build their personal brand and become a better version of themselves. Basically aligns with the way that like I live my life. I basically said, who is the past self? Who am I speaking to? Who is it that I want to target? And who is that extension of who I was before I started my whole journey of entrepreneurship and filming and video production? Like, I want to speak to that old version of Michael who didn't have direction, who didn't know what he wanted to post, who didn't have that motivation. So I looked at it as like, who was I before? And what did I need to hear when I was scrolling on my phone, or when I stumbled across videos like this one that I'm making right now? And then when I actually got that clarity, that's when I really started to understand, hey, that's how I have to speak to my ICP. That's how I have to speak to you, because it became such a personal like connection, and it became such a great means to communicate and give that message to my past self. So I know that Michael a couple years ago, or a couple months ago, or a couple weeks ago even, would be so grateful to come across one of these videos, because that in itself is so relatable for someone else who is in my shoes, or who wants to be, or whatever the case may be for my ICP. So that's how I really understood. I just took my old past self and understood like, hey, what was it that I was struggling with? What questions do I have? What things am I wondering? I asked all these things, and then I would just fill out on a note sheet or write it down all the different points that like I should talk about that I would have wanted to know that I know now. And that's one of the examples that I'm doing right now. So that's what really pushed the needle forward. And then just staying consistent, posting every single day, no matter what the case was, whether I was sick, whether I was really good, whether I was super busy, whether I was bored as shit, it didn't matter. I'd go hard every fucking day. And one day, just one day, everything changed. I started getting a bunch of followers, a bunch of leads coming into my funnel, and boom. Now I have a big influx of leads. Now I have so much social proof, and I have this personal brand that's very incredible now, because I have people who are engaging with my content and who are seeing the value that I can bring to the table. So that's what really shifted the needle. The fact that like I understood that how fast your life can change, but at the same time, you have to think fast and you have to change fast, because every single day that you let it go onto the side, every single day that you don't work hard, and every single day that you don't move that 1%, you don't go 1% of the needle forward, every single day that you put things off, you're moving 2 steps behind, 3 steps behind, because people are ahead of you. People are ahead of the game. So make sure that you just understand that. That's one of the things that I've learned from actually seeing the results come into fruition from the work that I've put in. And that's going to happen for you. You just have to continue working, and your time is going to come. My time came for me after 2 months, 3 months, 4 months of posting. It took me 4 months of posting posting every day for it to really hit and for people to really see the value that I was bringing to my audience. But for you, that might take 5 months, 6 months. It may take 5 days. It really depends. And you can't put a limit to it. You can't put a time frame, but you can always have big goals and you can always strive for something. For me, I was striving to reach, hey, I want to get 100K followers at the end of June. That's my goal. But I got to damn near close to 10K. So that's one of the things that has really led me to believe that like this stuff works, because if you set a big goal for yourself, you're going to achieve the smaller goals ahead of the game, and you just keep on raising the bar. Any advice?
Just be happy. Why be miserable? You're only gonna live for so long, period.
This is called the Dike in Richmond. Basically a sunset spot. You come to the Dike to really collect your thoughts and to just appreciate the day, because it's the end of the day, it's nearing the end of the day, and it's a great place to reflect. So if you have a place in your city where you can go and see the sunset, it's very therapeutic and it's very good for your mental health and for your overall emotional well-being, so that you can really just like collect your thoughts and really reflect and just appreciate the place that you live and that the world is so beautiful. Like, this is absolutely incredible. I haven't been everywhere in the world, but there's nothing like British Columbia, Canada, because this is just absolutely like a movie scene. This looks like I'm tripping on mushrooms right now, because look how fucking crazy this looks. One time I came here and I started thinking about my entire life, and I started reflecting about my entire life. That's how good the sunset is. And I started reflecting about like my entire upbringing and my childhood and the reasons why I am who I am today, and like the tendencies that I have and like the habits I've created and who I really am. And like, I think everyone needs to do that. So like, if you have the time, like on a weekend or something, like absolutely sit down with yourself and kind of think about your entire life, like from start to finish. I literally thought about like the earliest memory that I could ever think of, and I took it year by year. Like, what was the things I remembered when I was 3, when I was 4, when I was 5, all the way up until I was 21, and now I'm 22. I'm due to do it because I haven't done it in like a couple years, but that was very, very good for reflection and understanding who I am. And now part of that was really after high school, because after high school and like after you're kind of growing up and you have to start figuring things out. Your parents are telling you to go to college, to university. Your friends are going to university. Your friends know what they're doing. They're figuring it out because they're going and getting a big degree and everything. And part of that like reflection process that day was like understanding like the upbringing of the people around me and my parents and stuff, because like your parents and like my parents, everyone else, they all have a similar upbringing, because they're told to get a normal job, get a 9-to-5, work until you can make enough money to save for a down payment for a house, and then you have a happy family and everything. But I realized that like I don't have to live that way, because a lot of people have lived that life, and that's just the reality that we're in. When you grow up, 99% of people live that way. It's going to be like absolutely certain that 99% of people are going to tell you to live that way. So I really realized after like I kind of thought about my life, about the people who were around me and the influence, which I'm so grateful for, because it taught you how to work hard. But at the same time, that influence isn't something that like you should ultimately take if you want to become like an entrepreneur, if you're trying to become a business owner, if you're trying to do something a little different and live a different life. You can't listen to people who have lived a life that you don't want to live. You need to listen to people and find the people, if you have access to them, who are living the life that you want. And I was very fortunate to be blessed with the opportunity to meet people like that, and it really opened my eyes to things like that. And being able to just consume that kind of content and consume and read books about the people who are living these crazy amazing lives is like what's going to move you forward and move you closer to that. Whereas like most people are just going to settle for whatever it is that they've kind of been given. I mean, everyone is dealt a specific hand, but you can choose how you're going to play your hand in the game, right? You can take risks, you can play it safe, right? So it's about the way that you want to play the game. And so when I started my kind of journey of like after high school, because I think people live a life in elementary school, in high school, and then when they get into the real world, they're thrown into the wolf pack. You're kind of faced with a couple different options. Either you go to school, you get a degree, you get a normal job and you're good, or you can do trades, you can start working right away, you can start making really good money, maybe make 100K a year, or you can take your own route and make your own business and kind of make money for yourself, be a freelancer or like some kind of contract contractor where you'd work independently, and I chose the third route and do my own thing. And like, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And if you're coming out of high school, if you're coming out of even university and you have no idea what you want to do, good, because you shouldn't have any idea. The thing is, you need to have a direction and a purpose, because if you don't have that, you're not really going to be able to like move yourself forward. And waking up every day with a purpose is the actual way to do things, because then you have something to look forward to. You have something to like chase and strive for. And that my purpose is to be better every day and to inspire people around me and to spread love and kindness. And like, I really had to find that through like trial and error and doing so many different types of things with my life and so many different directions and things I had to try out. Like, people are like, oh, what are you gonna do for your career? Fuck, how are you supposed to know that when you're 18 years old? I have no idea when I'm 18 years old what the hell I'm gonna do. So you have to try things. You can't be stagnant if you're actually striving for something different and you know within yourself that you can do something different than everyone else you've ever known. You have to think differently. And the way I did that for myself was by trying a bunch of different things. I was like, okay, am I gonna go this route? Am I gonna try business? I don't know. I'm gonna try graphic design. I'm gonna try arts. I'm gonna try acting. I'm gonna try film production. I'm gonna do all these different things. So I did all these different things for like 2 years after high school. And then I really realized, I'm like, okay, like I'm really good at making content. I'm really good at speaking to the camera, and I'm really good at like connecting with people and like captivating an audience and just ultimately being like an entertainer, but at the same time being an educator, being like an authority figure, because I was born as a leader. I myself went into high school and everything, in sports especially. The best leaders are the people who play sports and excel in sports, because those types of people are the people who know what determination is and being able to lead by example. So that was the direction I took. I decided, hey, I'm gonna start creating content and I'm gonna figure that out. So it took me a while to really understand that, and then it took me even like 4 years of making content for me to really understand, like, damn, I want to really go into personal branding. I want to start teaching people how to do a personal brand. I want to fucking change someone's life. If I can change one person's life, that's going to be everything for me. So that was really the purpose that I went into, by just trying to educate and like change one person's life. If I can affect one single person, that's everything to me. You're never really going to know what you want to do if you don't try anything. You need to start doing different things. And when I figured out that I wanted to become a content creator, I wanted to be a business owner, that was after doing like so many different fucking things. And then on top of that, I tried so many different things after that. Like, when I really started the real entrepreneurship journey, I started doing like so many different things. I started doing drop shipping. I tried even doing like trading a little bit. I tried doing like an e-commerce clothing brand. I tried so many different things and different business models. I was doing it all at the same time. And I was haircutting, and I was acting, and I was like doing freelance videography work, and I was doing social media marketing, so many different things. And the reason why I was jumping from ship to ship was because I was like, oh, this is a new opportunity, this is something better, like, but I'm still gonna have this because I've worked so hard at this. And I think my whole life is mastered a skill and gone to the next one. I've mastered a skill, gone to the next one. When I was a kid, I learned how to do a Rubik's Cube really well. I learned how to flip a butterfly knife really well. Then I learned how to do pen spinning really well. Then I made Lego really well. And I would just master it and then go to the next day, master it. I'd do magic tricks, like card tricks. I did so many different things growing up. And that's kind of like led me into like my entrepreneurship journey, where I'm like, yo, I'm gonna try different business models because I'm so passionate about entrepreneurship. But that shiny object syndrome was the killer of my progression in business and in life in general, because I wouldn't be able to progress anywhere if I'm just focusing on doing so many different things at once. So the thing that actually really changed my life was focusing on one thing. I said, fuck everything else. I need to literally cut out everything. So I stopped doing like e-com. I stopped doing like drop shipping. I stopped doing like the trading shit, whatever I was doing. I stopped literally everything. I stopped even like acting. I stopped doing so much film stuff. I'm still filming stuff, but I literally stopped everything, and I went all in on my content and personal branding and push content out, just because I knew that personal brand is so much leverage and it's going to absolutely change my life and give me so many different connections. And that asset of having a personal brand is so powerful, because you can meet everyone, you can meet anyone you want, and just having that personal brand, you can make any connection. So that's what I really decided on, because I'm like, yo, if I just have personal brand, I can do any business model. I can do anything. It doesn't matter what business model I want to do.
How would you describe your personal brand?
That's a great question. Thanks for that question. I would describe my personal brand as a place where you can become inspired. You can be inspired by me. And if you watch one of my videos, you're gonna be motivated to do something. You're gonna be motivated to try something. That's my hope. But ultimately, you're gonna be educated, but more so inspired, because I have so much conviction and so much passion when I speak, because I love this stuff. And so when I talk to the camera, I hope to God that you're actually feeling this, because it's absolutely coming from my heart. It's coming so organically, authentically, and raw. And that's how I always try to speak to the camera. And that's like the number one thing that's absolutely got me to like so many different places in my life and to connect with so many different different people. Just be fucking authentic. Don't try to be someone else. Don't try to be some kind of version that you think that you are, or some kind of person, or try to put on a persona or a mask. Just be exactly who you are. That's all, and that's enough for anyone. It doesn't matter if you're making content, if you're meeting a partner, if you're meeting friends, if you're applying for a job, just be yourself, because if you try to be someone else, it's going to be so uncomfortable being in the shoes of someone else that doesn't fit. You're not going to be able to walk right. It's be uncomfortable. You're going to get blisters on your feet. So don't do that. Just be yourself, fit into your shoes, and everyone will accept you who is right for you. No matter if it's a partner, no matter if it's a follower or a boss or a business partner, whatever the case is, be yourself, period. And that's all that I can say about being yourself and personal brand, and everything is going to work itself out as long as you be yourself and you trust that faith will guide you in the right direction, and you just have to trust that the dots are going to connect in the future. That's all you need.
So would you say when someone's trying to figure out their personal brand, they should just be their self?
Yeah, if you're trying to figure out your personal brand, just be yourself. Just absolutely be 100% authentic to who you are, and then just literally start making content. Just start posting something, talk about your life, and then you're going to start to think about, oh, what I want to talk about. What am I good at? What do I know really well? What can I actually leverage and potentially help someone do? Hey, maybe I can make money off this. That's kind of like the step-by-step process, but just start making some kind of content, start doing something. And then having a personal brand online is one thing, but you actually have a personal brand, whether you're posting content, whether you have 0 posts on your feed right now, whether you have no videos you've ever made and you're just a consumer and you're just watching me right now, you still have a personal brand. So I would say if you really want to start a personal brand, start your personal brand right now, because you can. And your personal brand is who you are, who you portray yourself as to the people who are around you, the people you love, the people you don't love, the people who hate you, the people who know you, the people who have heard about you. Every single type of person who has come in contact with you understands your personal brand. And like, if you are portraying yourself in a certain way, and it's the way you walk, it's the way you talk, it's the way you come into it's the way you come into a room and the energy that you carry. Do you shrink when you come into a room, or do you omit energy? Do you have a positive impact on different people, or do you make negative comments about people? Do you carry some kind of energy that is negative? Think about these things, because that's how you're going to build a strong reputation and a personal brand. And a personal brand is literally just who you are. It's finding your identity. That's what it is. So figure out who your identity is before you post anything. And once you're good in every single pillar of your life, in terms of health, in terms of wellness and mental, spirituality, everything, that's when you can start posting. And ultimately, end of the day, I would just say be yourself, and everything's going to handle itself.
What's one thing that you currently struggle with that you're trying to work on and improve?
Good fucking question. I think one of the biggest things that I'm struggling with right now is just getting better sleep and being more on top of my sleep so that I can be on top of everything else, because I believe that the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. So the fact that my sleep is inconsistent, that bleeds onto my work, because my work might be inconsistent and my energy levels are inconsistent and my workout schedule is inconsistent and the workouts I do are inconsistent. So I think it's just creating a bit more consistency. Even though I have consistency in my life, ultimately it's hard to have that consistency if you're not waking up at a set time and you're going to bed at a set time. So I believe just having more system in your life is very beneficial. And with system, I mean just sleep, because everything else changes. As an entrepreneur, as someone who's making content and working different jobs and like going through different phases in their life and like their day, it's important to understand that like it's going to be different. Not everything's going to be the same. You're not going to have a set 9-to-5 schedule like everyone else, but at the same time, you can still systemize your life when you go to bed and when you sleep. And that's what's going to create that consistency. And you can create habits. You can create 5-minute habits every day. Meditate. That's what I do. I had a habit and I'm still working on this habit to make it more consistent. See, my habits are breaking because of my sleep. Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect.